And we, as witches, collectively decided not to use our powers to find out. That was tough, I will admit. As a longtime boy mom, I really wanted to shop for girly things. I stood up and headed to the door. All thoughts of maturity or dignity were gone. I wanted to hear what was going on. I put my ear to the door. I heard crying, too. "Can you tell if it's a boy?" Sam asked again. "Shh." And with that, the door opened. Pauline and I crashed into the floor of the delivery room in a heap. Sam Jr. and Harlow laughed upon realizing who had just crashed their birthday. "Come on in, Mom, and Aunt Pauline and Aunt Georgie and Dad," Sam Jr. said. I climbed over the melee and tried to process the scene. A beautiful bundle was in Harlow's arms. "You look beautiful," I said to Harlow. She really did. How was that possible after 2 days of labor? Her chestnut hair was brushed to the side on one shoulder, and a miracle lay quietly on the other. She handed the bundle to Sam Jr., and he walked toward me. "Hey, Grandma. Meet your granddaughter." My breath caught in my throat as Sam put his daughter in my arms. She was so little, so light. She had a swath of dark hair. Underneath it was the most beautiful face I'd ever seen. It radiated light and love and genius. She was precious, unique, an unbelievable angel. I was not biased. This was fact. Eternal hellfire and damnation to anyone who dared disagree with me on this assessment of my granddaughter. "You can shoo us out at any moment, you know," I said. Harlow smiled, and Sam continued to hover all over her. He poured her some cold water. He found her bag. Whatever she needed. I was just as proud of how he took care of his wife as I was of my new granddaughter. And Harlow, well, after a strange start, was a daughter to me now. A faint purple color under her normally flawless skin let me know she needed rest. She was a firecracker. She rarely sat still and didn't let a challenge stop her. She was so much of what Sam needed, and I knew she'd be the perfect mother for my granddaughter. But she was also overtired, and not good at protecting herself. That's where I stepped in. This was my wheelhouse. "Okay, Sam, I'm shooing us all out. You take this perfect angel and sit over here, and let your wife sleep." Sam hustled over to me, and I gently put this cooing fluff of perfection into the big muscles of my formerly carefree son. I kissed her little head and then rubbed Sam's shoulder. He looked at me and backed down at the yet-to-be-named bundle. "You'll do just fine." Sam gave me a less than confident smile. I took a mental picture. This was something. Seeing my baby with a baby. Sam Sr. was beaming over his new granddaughter and handed a cigar to Sam Jr. Normally I'd rail against the idea of cigars, but it was for show. No one was lighting a cigar anywhere near my granddaughter lest I turn them into a newt. I walked over to Harlow. Her mother had passed a few years ago. Harlow's mother was a witch who'd had to hide her powers because her husband, Ridge, disapproved. Harlow's mother was afraid to be too strong. But she had passed her strength down to Harlow. Harlow was powerful, but untrained. She was also generous and had given me the gift of letting me mother her gently, around the edges. "You did beautifully." I smoothed her hair. "Thank you." "If you can sleep, do it. And make sure you keep that weird underwear they gave you. And the squirter bottle. Ask for 2. Those were the postpartum words of wisdom I had to share for now. No big speeches, just the real talk. The mesh underwear and that squirt bottle were your best friends for a few days. My twin sons may be all grown up, but I remembered too well what it was like to push 2 basketballs out of the eye of a needle. I left my glowing and growing little family to try to recover in peace and quiet for a few hours. They'd had a parade of visitors, half of whom were still in the waiting room. I tried to play hostess as best as I could, to not overwhelm Sam Jr. and Harlow. Sam Sr. was excited, but also seemed unsure how to play this new role, Grandpa. After we left the hospital room, I found my ex at the nurse's station, preening. I didn't want to know details, but I heard the nurse...